Riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, Jackie Chan to my Chris Tucker, Timothy Richardson. Tim, how you doing, buddy?
I am exhausted.
What's got you so tired?
What? It's that intern. You know the one.
I think we need to leave Tom alone this week, Tim.
Not Tom
What's your
Brady.
deal?
Not him. What? The elderly, semi-translucent Native American intern that feels like he was already here when we moved in.
Oh.
The dogs don't like him. They're always barking in his general direction. Most of the time, you just ignore him as if he's not there. He's always staring at me.
Now, Tim, I really didn't think we were going to talk about this on the air because, quite frankly, I'm not even sure what we're talking about exactly. Gentlemen, here in the studio and the world headquarters, colloquially nicknamed the Chief, is well, I don't want to sound silly, folks. He is somewhat see-through and does not speak. I didn't hire him. Did you hire him?
I don't know who hired him. He has to predate the original Brad before I lost Brad to one of our listeners in a bet. But yeah, no, it seems
Can we bet the Chief? I would love to get rid of this guy.
I don't know if we're going to get rid of this one.
Yeah, here's the problem. Nobody hired him. Pretty sure he is not an intern. Have never once seen him actually address anyone or thing in the room with him.
That's true. I've never seen him address anyone. I have seen him work in the soundboard, though.
No. Come on. While we were recording?
No. Just like at
just
night.
Working the ones and twos.
Yeah.
So, okay, listen. We're not going to dance around it, folks. And trust me, we're going to get to the album and all the music talk in just a second. But frankly, we've got a bit of a problem. And I think it might be an apparition, dare I say, poltergeist and or... I can't believe I'm saying this. Tim, we might have a ghost. That sounds stupid.
I am always accusing people of being ghosts. Until they prove me wrong by interacting with the physical world, I assume everyone's a ghost. It's just safer.
I don't have time to drill into that statement. Folks, if you have dealt with, and I don't want to call him a spirit, let's call him a squatter. That's what he is. Yes. We want him out. Oh, Jimmy, turn around. But, yeah, we got company.
All right. The door didn't open, right? Did you hear the door open?
I don't know. I was recording.
That's fair.
In the moment.
That's fair.
We need like a code word.
How about this? For those of you who are viewers, do you see him?
Do you see him? Boy, Tim, we're really starting on the third base, rounding home to crazy. We're talking about a ghost.
Well, in my defense, again, he stares a lot. It makes me uncomfortable. The dogs bark in his general direction. They don't seem to like him. At least half the time, you don't seem to notice he's there.
Oh, no, I'm ignoring him. I'm straight up ignoring him. Tim, I do not like to admit weakness or failures, publicly or privately, to others or myself. But I am scared of this man.
Agreed.
All right, Tim, haunting apparitions aside, what album have we been listening to for an entire week straight, at least?
We have been listening to the 1994 TLC album, CSC.
Tim, for the uninitiated, please, the formal title.
For the uninitiated, you can go back and listen to the peepee-sode in which we defined what CSC was.
It's going to be like that, huh?
Nope, Synergy, they have to listen to the old episode to get it.
They can just read the title. You're not winning anything.
God damn it. All right. Crazy, Sexy, Cool, which will, from here on out, be referred to by both of us as CSC. This is a long album. We need to save time somewhere.
I was ready to completely disagree, but I can't disagree with that. So maybe you're right. Maybe that's the right way to go. Tim, after an entire week with this album, boy, I really want to just say Crazy, Sexy, Cool.
Well,
God, it is long, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tim, after an entire week with the album, I'm curious, do you hate this album?
I don't, with a big but. This album does not fulfill the promise of no scrubs or waterfalls. I am deeply disappointed in 80% of this album. I think the number of introludes and interludes and intermission ludes and intromission ludes, it almost gets me there. But there's some good stuff, but there's a lot of bad stuff on this album, or at least very forgettable stuff. I can't say any of it's necessarily bad. It's just forgettable. Everyone forgot it. I assume, though, that you are going to sing the praises of this album. Garrett, do you hate this this album.
No, this album's pretty sweet.
No, there's moments of fire. There are moments that slap. Sure, there are moments that are
moments that slap fire.
Sure, there are moments that are the business. Is that a thing?
Wait, I think we just downgraded from slapping fire to the business. The business?
Yeah, I think that's a cool term. Is it not?
Does anybody else? The business. I'll take cat's pajamas, bee's knees, but the business.
There's some stuff that is bee's knees worthy on here, certainly.
That's not my point. You know it is. You know it is not my point. You're just trying to move all the attention off the business. All right, whatever. Before we get into general thoughts, I will agree with a lot of what you said. You're putting it at 80% disappointed. I'm going to go almost 50-50.
Okay, as long as it's half.
No, that's wrong. I apologize. I take it back. Ludes aside, 50-50.
Right, but there's like 5 ludes, man.
Well, sure, but I came to listen to music, not ludes. So, ludes aside, half of this is pretty great. Actually, half of it's great. Ludes back in, 40% of it. So, you're 80% disappointed. I'm at 60%. Let's see if we can meet in the middle. Tough to know what that number is. Gino, get a calculator!
Gino is cowering in fear of what we have now determined to be a possible apparition.
Listen, I can't in good conscience say that. Perhaps it's an irradiated man.
That's true. It could be an irradiated man. I don't know what that is, but that's possibly less scary.
Like a glowing man that's been filled with radiation.
Poisoning us?
Yes, but better than a ghost.
I don't know. I'm going to say yes. He's not glowing, though.
He is looking at the back of your head. I don't think he likes us talking about him.
Well, we rarely talk about him. That's probably why.
We need a code word so he doesn't know it's him.
The
cup
Chief's
of coffee.
Probably not. Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
That cup of coffee is scaring the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Because neither one of us drink coffee.
Well, yeah, it's disgusting. Why wouldn't you just have a delicious Diet Peach Snapple?
Absolutely. Or some
Made
other
from the best stuff on earth. Anyway, Timmy, before we get into the nitty gritty, listen to some of these songs and come to an opinion, I have to ask, prior to this week, what's your experience with CSC? I know you knew Waterfalls. Were you a creep? Did you know any of the other songs on this album?
I had heard Waterfalls. I added it up. I went back through my history. I went back through my iTunes playlists. 104,922 times exactly, including the number of times I listened to the album this week. I have never listened to this album itself all the way through because I was unaware of most of this. I think I've heard, probably 4 of these songs ever, and Waterfalls a lot. Yeah. Again, so I come into this, I've heard No Scrubs, I've heard Waterfalls, I've heard Creep. I am thinking the rest of this album is up to that level. That's what I came into this with. And I was excited to finally get an album that, of course, is going to be great. Garrett, I assume you've heard everything on this, or are you just a Waterfalls man?
Lunatic. Ooh, you know what? There's 16 songs on here, or tracks, not songs. There are 16 tracks on here. I've definitely heard 4 max.
Okay.
Max.
Yeah, and to me, that feels like the right number.
Yeah, and we're going to get into it, of course, but based on the content and production of this album, I suspect most people that have owned the album have heard maybe 3 songs, because I believe this is mandatory to have intercourse to.
Really?
While listening.
Now, okay, I don't want to get too personal, but I assume this is a thing you do.
Well, no, we've talked about this many times, Tim. Now, God, we haven't even gotten into the songs yet, but needless to say, spoiler alert, I guess we're just going to get right into it. I have firmly always been in the camp of no thank you with any music during the intimate moments of life. This was after a dalliance in college where I thought it was a good idea. I may have mentioned that I had was that a Coldplay song? Yeah, Shiver. I had Shiver on my sexy music album. Maybe that's why I stopped doing it.
I've always been a fan of early Dylan.
No, you can't do that.
Well, you can.
Early Dylan. Like how early? Don't say the first album.
Well, a little bit of that album, mostly freewheeling. The Times They Are A-Changin' is a really depressing album if you really get into what he's saying, and that works for me.
It's got a good rhythm to slap to?
No, at all. Not at all.
You disgust me. So anyway, as I was saying, this might be the first album that it's almost mandatory. I could see the appeal of having the sex to this album. It's such a sexy album.
That's the thing. It's like half, because half of it is warning of the dangers therein.
Yeah, that is weird.
Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
You're right. Before we talk about the album itself, it is customary here on the show to understand a little bit about the band who made it. So, Tim, take us on a journey. Help us understand understand, who is TLC and how did CSC come to be?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, fuck off, you. These are your dumb acronyms.
No.
CrazySexyCool.
I'm sorry. No, I think you've misunderstood. You left a note on my couch bed on Tuesday saying I didn't need to do the history because we did the history last week.
No.
Now, I've got
Produce the note.
I've got the note right here. Signed by you.
Oh, I see the problem. Do you see the problem? Do I need to actually point out the problem? You see the problem. I did not write that.
This person uses lowercase letters. You know who this is. Because he signed it. He signed it Gary B. Harvey, which is, of course, not your middle initial. It is Tom Rady. That son of a bitch.
That's him. I am not here. Listen, I'm not here to either defend you or our interns. You both I despise in different, unique ways.
Except for Tom Rady, who you seem to really dig.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. It's like being best friends with somebody you've always looked up to.
Yeah, you're thinking recent Texas A&M graduate Tom Rady, the guy who has no reason to make me look bad, but is clearly trying to make me look bad. And succeeding, I might add.
I never like to fuel the fire that is your constant and insane hypotheses. But in this case, looks like he framed you to make you look bad on the show. Looks like he might be trying to fast track Gary and the goat.
Oh, God damn it. Well, anyway, the point is I didn't do any history, so I don't know what we do. Maybe...
Now, Tim, before I allow you to get into the history that you didn't do, I am curious, and you can be honest. I won't be the least bit upset. Did you happen to write that note as Tom Rady, as me, in order to frame Tom Rady framing you? Because that's gotta be like play number 3 in the Tim book.
I am hesitant to...
You can't plead the fifth. It's a podcast in friendship.
I am hesitant to chance a slap from either having done that or having not written the history. So I am... It's kind of a, You're pleading no contest. Sure. Yes.
That's a slap. Okay. It'll just come randomly. Don't worry about it.
Damn it. It always comes so randomly.
Now, I guess since we don't have a history, let's make lemonade with your lemons, Tim. We, of course, and by we I do mean you, did a history last week for No Scrubs, and there's absolutely nothing that's changed between that week and this week, presumably. So we'll go ahead and drop it right on in here. Get to listen to No Scrubs, that is TLC's history from the No Scrubs episode, and we'll be back in just a moment. When you come back, I may have slapped Tim.
The story of TLC began with a man named Ian Burke, an Atlanta-based Lou Pearlman type, allegedly. I'm sure he's far less horrible, and as far as I know, he did not die in federal prison. But Ian Burke came up with the idea for a girl-boy band that had a bit more edge than usual, maybe a little more R&B, maybe a little more hip-hop, and he thought that one of his already clients, Crystal Jones, would be perfect for it. So, as you would, he put out a call for some other girls for this new all-female boy band concept, and that call was answered by T. Buzz Watkins and Lisa Lopez, who named themselves Second Nature and immediately started working on a demo tape under the tutelage of Mr. Ian Burke. Luckily, T. Buzz maintained her job at a hair salon where she met Perry Pebbles Reed, a singer who also had a management and production company with her husband. Pebbles was impressed by them and dubbed them TLC for T. Buzz, Lisa, and Crystal, and had her husband give them an audition at his record company, LaFace Records. Mr.
Why would you name anything LaFace? What's it called? LaFace? I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. Well, it could be a company that exclusively sells face cream.
Or sells faces. No, if it sells faces, that's a good name.
Yeah. Here's the problem. Yes, if it sells faces, that is a good name. But you understand why that won't happen?
What if it's run by a French Bond villain?
Oh, okay.
LaFace.
Hello, welcome to LaFace.
Yeah.
I see you do not have a face. Would you like one?
Yeah.
Yes, I recently awoke in a lab with no face. I have a fat man. We can put a fat man's face on you. That's Sean Archer. I'll take that face.
I'm into all of this.
It all comes back to Face Off, people.
Yep. Mr. Pebbles liked L&T, but felt that they needed a new C, although C would later contest that Mrs. Pebbles didn't let them take the actual contracts home to read or to show a lawyer before signing, and she says she left of her own accord. Believe what you will. Anywho, T and L signed in 1991, C was dismissed, and Pebbles became their official manager. They hired Rosonda Thomas Thomas to be their third member. Now, angered that her name did not begin with a C, Pebbles dubbed her Chili. And she also made Lisa change her name to Left Eye, which referred to a time that New Edition member Michael Bivens told her he was attracted to her because of her left eye, which was more slanted than the right eye. His words, not mine. But she then did begin wearing glasses with the right lens covered by a condom, wearing a black stripe under her left eye, and getting her left eyebrow pierced to accentuate the name.
The condom thing was always confusing.
Yeah, she's a real team player, though.
Yeah, really going all like the full 10 yards just for a nickname.
Yep.
So we got T-Boz, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and Chili, aka New C.
New C, yes. T and L and New C performed as backing vocalists on a Jermaine Jackson album and a couple of other things essentially as backing vocalists. And then they released their first album, Ooh, on the TLC tip. In early 1992, people liked it. It sold 4 million copies in the US alone, had 3 top 10 singles on the Billboard 200. Then they recorded a cover of Sleigh Ride for the Home Alone 2 Lost in New York soundtrack.
Wait, okay, hold on. Okay. I don't want to get too far away from this. I don't often interrupt, but the first album's called Ooh, on the TLC tip.
Yeah, I believe it's actually the cadence that was stolen for Ooh, what a good boy you are. They might have a case.
Yeah.
Yep. They toured as MC Hammer's opening act until T found out she had sickle cell anemia, and some shows had to be canceled. They made basically no money from this first tour. They fired Pebbles as their manager, although she stayed on as part of the overall production team due to some contract bullshit.
Right.
Then Elle began dating Atlanta Falcons footballist Andre Rison and moved in with him. She filed assault charges against him in 93, then caught him cheating on her, so she took all of his shoes, or possibly all of the shoes he had given her, maybe all the shoes in the house, it doesn't matter. She put them in the bathtub, she doused them in lighter fluid, she set them ablaze. Now, what she did not realize was that it was a fiberglass bathtub which immediately melted and set the whole house on fire. Elle was given 5 years of probation and a fine for the first-degree arson charge.
Yeah, first mistake after the tub fire, when they asked, what happened here? And she said, I set his shoes on fire. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is going to be pretty cut and dry.
Yep. In 1994, they released the album that everybody knows, CSC, aka CrazySexyCool. It slapped. It sold really well. Much better, actually, than Ooh, on the TLC tip. It also contained the song that I thought was the song of the week, Waterfalls. The music video for Waterfalls was the first MTV VMA Video of the Year award win for a black artist, or by a black artist, I should say. And they were given the title of Artist of the Year by Billboard.
Holy shit. First of all, it's crazy it took that long, but I would have bet $1 million, $1 million, Tim. That's not a small amount of money. That No Scrubs came out before Waterfalls.
I agree. And in fact, I would bet still to this day that it did on the original timeline that I grew up on.
Right. The one with the ectopic pregnancy or whatever it is.
Yes. Moving right along, in 1995, T and L and C filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They were $3.5 million in debt from all their success, because they were basically making $50,000 a year after LaFace and Pebbles took their cut, and after bills stemming from arson and sickle cell anemia. One specific complaint in an attempted contract negotiation around this time was that they were earning exactly 56 cents per album sold, which then had to be split 3 ways. It's not a lot of money.
But they were selling millions.
Yes, but a lot of that was going to arson charges, Garrett.
Yeah, I'm at a loss as to how do you spend that much money. Now, obviously, it sounds like they got fucked over by their record contract, tale as old as time. But still, 53, what'd you say, 53 cents split 3 ways? I mean, come on, man. That's almost 20 cents an album. That's way less than they should get, but still, that should have been like...
But it wasn't.
Okay, got it.
They did some other work, including the theme song to Nickelodeon's All That, T's solo song Touch Myself, other soundtrack work, Lil Kim and Missy Elliott appearances, etc. Then C became involved with the producer, Why I Hate This Album alumnus Dallas Austin, had a kid with him, and then he demanded $4.2 million in creative control to work on their new album. T and L, and probably also C, thought that was bullshit. L started a production company and got girl boy band Black a platinum album. Then TLC worked with some other producers, renegotiated with Dallas Dallas, Austin, and released fan mail in 1999 featuring the actual song of the week, No Scrubs, at least in the current time stream. Now, the fan mail tour had a pay-per-view special, which at the time was the highest grossing televised special ever, and then Elle became unhappy with being restricted essentially to the George Harrison role and wrote an open letter to Entertainment Weekly in 1999 challenging bandmates TNC to each produce a solo album a la Kiss in 1978 and sell them essentially packaged together at the same time as quote-unquote the challenge to see which one performs the best. I don't know how you would do that if they're sold together, but whatever. I don't really understand the rules of the challenge, to crown some sort of weird TLC queen, but eventually they just decided not to.
What a god.
Yeah, what a dead end of a story.
Yeah, what a long road to nowhere. Yep. Continue.
Well, Elle did release a solo studio album in 2001 called Supernova. That did not sell well. She planned on working on a second solo album, but unfortunately, Garrett, she died in a car crash in Honduras of quote-unquote fracture of the base of the cranium and quote-unquote open cerebral trauma, which, if I'm reading that correctly, basically she was thrown out of a car window, her open, and then they to that exposed brain.
Yeah, thank you for spelling it out for us.
All right. TNC took a short hiatus after that, then recorded the rest of their next solo album, 3D, in 2002, and decided kinda to continue as a duo, but also sort of retire. They did their final ever performance in 2003, then they performed in Japan, they did a greatest hits album with some new material, they did a UPN reality show in which the winner recorded a new song with them, then they played in Japan in 2009, Las Vegas in a Justin Timberlake festival of sorts, American Idol. They performed
Timberfest.
Oh, you've been.
I would go.
I would too.
I don't know what it would be, but I'd go.
They performed on some other artist songs. They produced the made-for-TV biopic CrazySexyCool, the TLC story, aka CSC:TTLCS. They did some other stuff in there too. Then in 2015, they did a Kickstarter for a new album that raised $400,000 on a proposed $150,000 budget or whatever they do. They toured with New Kids on the Block and Nelly, and ultimately released a self-titled fifth studio album in 2017, including a single Way Back featuring Snoop Dogg, patron saint of peach iced tea, and interesting facts on this very show. Then they toured in 2019 and 2021, and they have an A&E documentary coming out in 2022. The end.
Wow.
Fin.
La face.
Oh, damn it.
The entire time, Tim's head was on a swivel, looking at that cup of coffee behind him and waiting for me to slap him for his ignorance.
Yeah, because we listened to the whole hit. Why did we do that? We could have just edited it in.
Because then we didn't know the sly references we made in the callbacks. Tim.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's probably the most important thing to note is that they were very successful but went bankrupt, and there was a big fire that may or may not have been caused by one of these lovely ladies.
No, it was definitely caused by Lisa Left Eye. Because they were like, hey, no.
I'm going to say,
how did this fire start? And he said, and I believe her answer was, I put his shoes in the tub and I lit them on fire.
Yes, but that is not
flammable?
Necessarily an admission of guilt. General thoughts.
Great. Tim, you seem nonplussed with the album. You're saying that there's a wide range of quality.
I am saying that. I think with the exception of Waterfalls, I don't need any of this in my life. I need Waterfalls.
Disagree.
No,
I need Waterfalls. I need Creep.
I think Creep is an okay song. I don't need it. I could completely get rid of that. If you said that TLC's entire output was No Scrubs and Waterfalls, perfect band. They don't need to do anything more.
I think I need Kick That Game.
Ugh, Garrett, you are really reaching into filler on song number 3 that you like. Okay, the rest of this you have to at least admit, including Creep, does not live up to Waterfalls.
I don't know that I can say that. I think
you can.
Creep is close.
No. No.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Waterfalls, Creeps right underneath, though.
Sure.
Anyway,
Okay, it's the
let's break
second
it
best
down.
song. It's
We're
the second
dancing
best
around
song.
it.
Okay.
Second best song. We're dancing around it, though. Let's break it down as only we can. First, let's say singing, very talented.
Sure. Yeah. It's a girl-boy band, but they don't attempt to do the boy band thing. They're each, I mean, it's like every song is by one of these ladies as a solo contribution, except for C, who didn't get a solo song until the next album in 99, allegedly.
But she's still singing way more, and like she'll duet on a bridge or something with T. It's L that shan't be singing on this album.
Yeah, she is replaced in large parts by, I forget who it is, but...
Like Deborah Killings, I think, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
But that was kind of a shock to me. We're sort of just glossing right over it. That's right, folks. We're saying it right here on this album, CSC, as it's been known to be called. You hear T, you hear C, not going to hear L singing so much.
Maybe TDC is a better name for this. I know that.
TDC?
Yeah, you got that Deborah instead of L. D instead of L. Got to get some D in the mix.
TDC. We don't, anyway. God damn you. Anyway, so vocals, good. Turns out one of them's not really singing. That's fine. Don't care. She raps, and that's hilarious. Also, smoke show. We'll get into it. Just agreeing. Production, musically. This thing ranges from waterfalls to the most hackneyed 1994 hip-hop and R&B tropes.
Yeah, it's all over the place. And also some of the worst of the jerky boys. We will get there.
Okay, so vocals, great work, ladies. Music, wide variety. Some of it really great, some of it really funny, some of it very boring. Because if you have that bad combination of not very good songwriting and the production is early 90s, but not funny early 90s, but just kind of boring and like your
you want it to
music.
Be Fresh Prince early 90s, not
and that's kick that game.
Yeah.
So music's a little all over the place. That's fine, but let's talk about the ludes.
God, 5
There's
ludes.
Well,
5
there's
ludes.
At least 3.
There's exactly 5, actually. So you're right. There is at least.
That sounds
3.
like too many ludes. I know it's 16 tracks.
It does sound like too many ludes because it is at least 3 too many ludes.
Did you rename one of the?
I did not. Garrett, hold on. There is Introlude. There is Crazy Sexy Cool Interlude. There is Intermission Lude. There is Sexy Interlude. And there's Can I Get a Witness Interlude. That's I believe, 5 ludes.
Gino, check the count.
He's holding up 4, but I think he means 5. He doesn't have a thumb, so that might be on that hand.
Oh, God. Oh, those things are mangled. Anyway.
Well, he was in the war.
Unclear which war.
Unclear which side.
No, pretty clear which side.
Now, I think part of the inconsistency that you're hearing is the number of people that were involved both on the musical and production side. And I don't have the numbers for those things individually, but would you like to guess at how many people put this album together?
61.
Close. 73.
Goo!
Yes.
You can really hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is obnoxious. And, these ladies, they only have co-writing credits, I think, on 7 of the songs, but some of those are these, like, the interlude things, which...
Oh, that's depressing.
Approach being songs at points. And again, this is a kind of thing that I think is sort of a problem, especially at this point in R&B, where it doesn't seem like they have control over what their final sound is going to be on a lot of it. I'm sure they have input, certainly, but it seems like with the number of people involved here, with the studio, with how well that first album did, on the TLC tip. It seems like...
We need something equivalent to a swear jar for when you do stuff like that.
Well, no, that's how it's said. We could have a sexy Tim jar when I do something, when I say something sexy.
I'm sorry. It could also
double when I wear something too sexy.
I was going to say it's less what you said, not what you said, but also like the hands down the body and the shimmy. I mean, people who have found the feet are probably wishing they hadn't.
I disagree. I think it's quite the move.
I don't know what to call it.
Sexy,
offensive.
Oh, to you. But I think
this is technically a workplace for at least the 2 of us, the unpaid interns, less so. But I might file sexual harassment charges.
It's against you. You made a very clear point that you are the sole owner of this company, and despite it being an LLC, you have specified that you, Garrett Harvey, are responsible for all things said and done as a result of this show.
My LLC is, to be really clear. You can sue it. It's worth exactly $0.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, I like my odds.
Is.
Alrighty. That's the music. That's the singing. That's the ludes. The last thing I want to talk about personally is the content. Broad strokes.
Sure.
So sexy.
Well, sort of. Like the production of this thing, this is all over the place. It is wild. It is weird. I think when you say that this is sexy, you are picking 2 or 3 out of 16 tracks here to make that case. Yes.
When you're saying it's anti-sexy, you're picking 2 or 3 tracks to say Those are the non-sexy.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's a weird mix. I'm not saying there's nothing sexy on here. I agree completely that there is sexy stuff on here.
I think we're just going to have to get the scorecard out.
Okay.
Go song by song, we'll tick them off. Which one was sexy, which one wasn't.
Sure.
We'll see where it lands. I'm a man of science.
That's true. You are also, as you have on your LinkedIn, a man of violence.
Well, I will admit that was on my LinkedIn, and I will also admit that I did not put it there, and it has been removed 4 times. How you keep getting my password is a mystery.
It's just your birthday. It's always just your birthday. You don't change your passwords. It's a really, really bad password.
I changed my birthday. Okay, Timmy, anything we've left off the table before we get into the specifics?
No, I think we should just go song by song.
All right, let's do it then. Cue it up, Gino. Track number 1, Introlude, featuring Fife.
Get with me, but just in case I own more condoms than TLC. Speaking of which,
not off to a great start.
Disagree?
Hold on, because we have not gotten into the... I mean, we did just listen to a snippet of the song, but when I say it's not off to a great start, what I'm saying is, before even listening to this, reading the title of track number 1, I am already inclined to hate this entire album.
I cannot disagree with that statement.
Introlude. And here's the thing.
If you strip away that this is TLC or CSC or TLC's CSC, you see Introlude, you can just go fuck yourself.
Absolutely. And you can strip away all of those things because I don't think this features these ladies.
I believe you're correct. I think it's Fife Dog and is Andre 3000 in the mix?
I believe so. I think, but he just mumbles a little bit. But the one thing I think this has going for it, not a skit.
No, it's not a skit. It's a not great rap song by a gentleman I respect deeply, and I think is part of one of the most influential early 90s hip-hop bands of all time.
Unclear what that is, but yes.
Great. Tribe Called Quest, god damn you. You know that. I know that. Fuck off.
It's mostly these two, Andre 3000 and Fife Dog, complimenting these ladies and how fly they are and how hot they are and how confident they are and also how safe their sex is.
Oh, that's right. So a couple of lines I want to point out because I think it is a weird running theme just under the surface. In the early mumblings, Andre 3000 is sure to say, yo, I'm checking for left eye, man. Oh, God, G. I don't know. Basically saying he thinks she's the most attractive of the group. More on that in a bit. Just pocket that away.
Yeah, Garrett will be mentioning his feelings on that repeatedly. It will get old.
It'll get uncomfortable before it gets old. No, I will be repeating Andre 3000's. I guess Andre Benjamin. Come on. I'll be repeating his opinion on that. Let's see. What do we want to talk about here, Tim?
Did you know that Andre Benjamin, aka Andre 3000, also sometimes goes by Dookie Blossom Game the Third?
Yeah, I did.
No, I think that's a strike against him.
It is. He also shows up randomly from time to time, completely out of nowhere, playing a flute.
That's one in his favor.
That's right. So the song goes, so they say, my man I'll Be Sure, he's in effect mode. That's a reference to the song by I'll Be Sure. Used to have a crush on Dawn from En Vogue. It's not like Honey Dip would want to get with me, but just in case I own more condoms than TLC. Which is that safe sex Tim was talking about. In case anybody doesn't know and didn't listen to the history, don't we cover that with Lisa began wearing condoms over her right eye?
She
and
did.
All over their clothing?
Well, yeah, so that's the thing. Affixed condoms all over their clothing. You know, it was the early 90s, so they were wearing mostly denim, mostly overalls. I mean, it was a weird mix. It was a weird time to be alive. Anyway, the point is that on at least a few occasions, there are pictures on the internet in which they have not like taped or glued these condoms to them. They have like safety pinned them to them. And that's a mixed message at best. Garrett does?
Yeah, don't use those condoms. I mean, unless you were really careful and simply put it through the corner.
Well, even still, I think it is
that's going to dry out.
Well, no, even that. If you're promoting, if you're promoting the idea that safety pins are an okay way to put packaged condoms on things, somebody's going to have a mistake. A little accident.
Yeah. You can promote needles or condoms, but not both.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. There's a roll call. This is a girl boy band, as we've said. They say, speaking of which, you know how I troop late Thursday night playing ball at a run and shoot. I see my girl Chili in her Lexus coupe, sitting pretty in that hot pink suit. And bam, in through the door she struts. It's the lovely T-Boz with the ill haircut. And then we get to Left Eye. Of course, Andre pipes in, but Left Eye's the dime piece. Back to Fife, who says, yeah, you know it's all good, but I heard, and then there's a weird edit, blank spot in the music, was a hood. Tim, do you know what used to be the line that was deleted?
I don't know the exact line. It was a reference to other Andre, the one whose house was burnt down by L.
Andre Rison.
Yes.
Hall of Fame wide receiver, Andre Rison. Yeah, but I heard Andre Rison was a hood, used to be the line. But
I
it was taken out.
assume they took it out because they did not want to enrage Elle by hearing his name to the point that she burned all of Andre 3000's shoes in a blind rage.
Tough to say. Don't know the timeline on that shoe fire.
Oh, it was before this.
Oh, then probably.
I think.
Anyway, the rap ends with the depressing spelling. My name is Malik, the 5-foot freak. It's on the MICROPHONE. I rule TLC up in the house. Crazy, sexy, cool. You know what I'm saying? Word.
It is slightly better than the D, the E, the F, the I, the A, the N, the C, the E mind of a revolutionary, but still fuck spelling in all its forms. It is stupid. Stop it.
Yeah.
Just stop it.
It's not great. And again, from a guy I really like, but that's not great. Track number 2, Tim, the much beloved Creep.
I really enjoy the horn intro.
I love all of it. It's all great. I mean, content, honestly, first time I've really listened to the words since hearing it, 20-something years ago, 26 years ago. It's man, I'm super curious to see what you think of this song because it goes one of two ways and both of them are nuts.
It does start off with T-Boz doing some of that good old Bob Burger's oil spill moaning on the OIs.
Oh.
Oil spill.
It does not sound like that,
but
it
sounds a lot like that. And then,
everything sounds like that to you.
It starts off, this is a song about a guy that is cheating on presumably T-Boz, ignoring her, thinking he's too good for her. Essentially, in the parlance of TLC, he has made T-Boz his scrub, if a lady can in fact be a scrub.
That's wild. And that's crazy, because it's T-Boz, bro.
Sure. So it says, the 22nd of loneliness, and we've been through so many things. I love my man with all honesty, but I know he's cheating on me. I look him in the eyes, but all he tells me is lies to keep me near. I'll never leave him down, though I might mess around. It's only because I need some affection. Now, allegedly, what this means, and I say allegedly because this is nonsense, is that what she is saying is she might mess around, she might have sex, have a relationship, flirt with, whatever, somebody else to get affection from them, but she still thinks of this man as her man.
Yes, and I think that's the straightforward reading, that she knows she's being cheated on, but they have a deep bond, so she's going to get her own side piece. Whether or not it's emotional cheating or physical or both, unclear.
Okay.
Sounds physical. Sounds like she's fucking. But
sure.
I think we're going to be aligned on the second way to read it, but I ask that you hold on to that alternative theory for the chorus, because we might not be talking about the same thing, which will be even better. All right, so the chorus goes, so I creep, yeah, just creep it on the down low. Said nobody's supposed to know, so I creep, yeah, because he doesn't know what I do, and no attention goes to show, and so I creep.
She is following him around town, spying on him, hiding on rooftops, peeping into buildings he enters.
Okay, well, obviously, creep in this song was probably, I shouldn't say obviously, I apologize. One reading, the obvious reading, and that's not what we do here. The obvious reading is that she's using the word creep as a synonym for banging, creeping around, getting hers on the
absolutely.
side.
But that can't be what it means.
Well, Well, I don't know about can't.
I'm going to say
I do
can't.
tend to wonder, though, Tim, is she simply following him? Is to creep, to keep it on the down low, nobody's got to know she's peeping. She's peeping on him while he's creeping.
I think
they're both creeping.
I think
they're
it's
creeping
more than
peepers.
that, Garrett. So, okay, let me get to the second verse here. The 23rd of loneliness, and we don't talk like we used to do. Now, it seems pretty strange, but I'm not bugging, because I still feel the same. Yeah. I'll keep giving lovin' till the day he pushes me away. Never go astray. If he knew the things I did, he couldn't handle it, and I choose to keep him protected. Oh, we know that it can't be cheating on him in revenge, because she specifically says, I'll never go astray. So it's not that. Then she goes on. No, it's just not. It's not. It's not.
It's just not. It's off the table, folks. Yep. Sorry.
But she goes on, if he knew the things I did, he couldn't handle it. If that's not cheating, what is it? And I propose to you, because again, if this was 2004 instead of 1994, she would simply be checking his phone while he was in the shower, but she's not. She's prowling around Atlanta, initially first like some sort of jealous Batman, Bat lady, obscuring herself in the shadows, running her hand along her grappling hook for comfort, holding that shotgun close to her chest, just to know it's there.
Wait.
But here's the thing. She has to hide
Why are you still talking?
She has
Batman
to hide.
does not have a shotgun. I mean, shotgun Batman does, but
right. Well, she's not actually different. Batman. Batman's a fake character. Garrett, she's got a shotgun.
Wait, so she's peeping with a shotgun?
Sort of peeping. But again, she...
So far, I'm unclear, aside from I was now picturing a woman dressed as Batman. I guess
pretty hot, right?
It's not bad. Anyway, not the point. Well, so now it's a woman with a shotgun peeping.
Sort of. But like so I tried to put myself in the mindset of a peeper with a shotgun, right?
Okay.
And so he is cheating. That's something he enjoys doing. But she has discovered she really enjoys the chase, the following around town, being completely
she's getting
unobserved.
cut. She likes being cut.
No. She likes.
What do you mean no? Yes.
She likes the sneak of it. She likes to know that she is there completely unobserved. He has no idea. She likes to obviously observe his dalliances, but also silently enter the bedroom. Basically, she is nothing more than a shadow. He's sleeping next to that slut. He has no idea. And she just, I would assume if I were her, if putting myself in her shoes, you would stand above that bed. You'd clutch that shotgun. You would
still with the shotgun. Okay, I was curious. Gonna ask. Didn't want to interrupt your flow.
And obviously, you're not going to do anything because then the chase would be over. The game would end. So you just want to stand there knowing that you could, anytime you wanted, if only the chase didn't turn you on so much.
Okay.
It's basically, so what I'm saying, Garrett, is...
You're still talking.
that his cheating drove her to become essentially the Kevin Costner character from that probably terrible Mr. Brooks movie featuring Dane Cook, a stand-up comedian that Garrett Harvey, I think you've seen 11 times, including a show in...
Quit slandering me in the in-universe continuity!
Including a show in 2019, despite everyone else assuming he died in 2011. Yes.
All facts now.
Yep. But my point is that, listen, you start following somebody around to this degree, you start really creeping. You become a creep. You start to become the sort of person that is slowly rappelling down the side of a one-story house for no reason other than the thrill, Garrett. You're slowly using that cool, like that window cutter thing where you put the suction cup and you draw a circle and then that pops out and then
we all want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And you're kind of Mission Impossible-ing it a little bit as you come in through the window. Maybe your shotgun almost falls and you catch it right before it lands on, I don't know, cymbals.
The shotgun part of this is aggressive. Now, okay, I have a couple of questions.
Well, she's a lady in Atlanta, Garrett. She's going to need a little bit of protection. It's 1994, for God's sakes.
Yeah, that's true. I once went for a run. Now, I used to spend a great deal of time in Atlanta. Details aren't important. And
I'm sorry, were you creeping?
No. I almost got creeped. I don't know if anybody's heard, but parts of that city aren't so safe. And I was out for a run in my Johnny short shorts, no shirt. And I was like, man, I could just kind of run anywhere. I got this here GPS watch. I'll just turn around when I hit X number of miles. And you can't do that, man. You need to know where you're going. I was in a not good part of town. Cars were on fire, Tim. And really? I'm just running around.
Is it possible you were there in some sort of riot scenario?
Nope. Because people were just, warming their hands on the flaming car. They had set it on purpose. The car had been there, been destroyed, and they had repurposed it. It was part of the environment.
Garrett, when the city of Atlanta found out we were doing an episode on TLC, they actually, they decided, the city council offered to sponsor us, and I had this whole thing for later in the show, but you're making it, I think you're making it impossible. We might have to get that money back.
Any of that copy. No one will believe it, even if they let us keep it. Yeah, nix it. Nix the ad, Gino.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the song, Tim. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have questions about your weird peeper shotgun person. So when you say they're aroused by it.
I didn't say aroused.
What did you say?
I may have said turned on.
Okay.
I mean, I assume they would be, though. Yeah, sure.
So is she like in the corner, like, I don't want to be gross here, but like jaying off with that shotgun? Like, what's the deal? Not with the shotgun, but like, juggling it, obviously.
Right.
It's a bulky item.
Yeah. No. I assume she waits outside until the deed is complete, and then she's only going in to know.
Until which deed is complete?
Their sex.
Her deed or their deed?
Their deed.
Does she have a deed too, though? That's what I'm asking.
She just wants to know that she could get into the room. It's like...
So is she edging?
No, oh God, Garrett, it's not really a sexual thing in so much as...
It sounds sexual.
Okay, but it's a hands-off sexual kind of thing.
She's watching them fuck.
No, maybe. I don't know. That's the only time she enters the room. It's like a cat burglar. A lot of times you hear about cat burglars, they just like to, once they're in the house, they've already got their bag full of stuff. They just want to watch people sleep. I don't know what it is. I think it's a power move.
Yeah, obviously.
I get it. Not like me, not like for
very
me.
Upsetting.
Just saying, like
this is your weird theory.
This song, Garrett, it was their first #1 hit and got them a Grammy for best R&B vocals by a duo or group.
Listen, I'm not here to say your theory's wrong. In fact, it's probably right. She's a peeper. She likes to grip a gun and walk into be one with the darkness.
Yeah.
And be aroused, but not do anything about it. Maybe when she gets home. It's like her version of a strip club.
Maybe. I don't know. Let me provide a little bit more evidence.
Oh, boy.
Originally, Left Eye, Elle, was against this song being released because she thought it was bad advice to tell fans to cheat when cheated on, instead of encouraging them to leave. She misunderstood the song as well, and she actually threatened to wear black tape over her mouth in the video to protest this whole thing. But then she didn't.
Oh, so somebody just sat her down and was like, no, I
think somebody was just like, listen, this is what I'm up to at night.
Yeah, I'm aggressively masturbating on rooftops while I watch my boyfriend cheat on me.
Or just walk down the street. I don't think we should say aggressively at the very least.
Sensually?
Sure. Yeah.
That's weirder. I don't know why, but like the difference between a maniac, a peeper, if you will, a flasher, masturbating in front of me, if it's not furious, if it's sensual, I'm 10 times scareder.
Yeah. Okay. But my point though is I'm not saying that any of these ladies are doing this. I'm just saying that's what the song's about.
Yeah. And I'm saying I agree.
Okay.
But also she's masturbating aggressively. It's not my words. It's yours and theirs.
God, we're going to have to aggressively or sensually bleep a fair amount of this.
Yeah. I thought that's where we were headed. We didn't give the after dark warning. Belated after dark. Oh yeah, we should really probably say that. This is a very sexy album. Nothing we've said so far is even 1/10 as sexy as it's gonna get.
I would argue none of this was sexy.
Oh, we didn't even do the sexy vote. So track 1, we can agree, not sexy.
True.
Track 2, very sexy.
If you're into the Batman play.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. I think I just like trying out that grappling hook thing, swinging from one building to another.
Whatever gets you there, we can agree it's sexy.
Yeah, right.
Track number 3, Kick Your Game. Man, this is great. So this one falls into the category of, wow, this sounds like late 1994. And I love it.
Sure.
It's a sexy dance song that has a cowbell and a timpani, maybe.
Musically, this is great. I would say unimpeachable. Sure. It's great.
Yeah.
Lyrically.
Ooh, a little unbalanced.
It is because I think, so this is, I mean, on the face of it, this is female empowerment, Garrett. This is, dare I say it, girl power. Would you agree?
Yes, this is girl power. I agree completely.
Right.
We're on the same page.
Disagree completely. This is a creepy song, right? This is a song. This is a song about being a bad friend to your fellow ladies. This is about being a bad community member.
You and I are coming at this from completely opposite angles.
No, because I agreed with you initially. The first maybe 7 times I heard this song, I said, oh, that's sweet. They're giving men advice on how to be less terrible.
Yep, I agree.
But it's not. It's not that. It's about giving them advice to pretend to be less terrible so they can bang bang their friends and then be terrible to them, right? This is about watching men try to hit on women in the club, seeing them fail miserably, and then giving them advice on how to pretend to be a gentleman so they will be more successful in the future despite being the same broken, monstrous men they truly are, just to get that, Gary's words, not mine, sweet poon. Now, this is teaching men that you know or that you see in the club to be better liars and more successful at lying. This is not girl power, Garrett. This is, if anything, some sort of, is manpower a thing? Yeah,
no,
manpower.
I couldn't disagree more. I couldn't disagree more. I view this at, you're characterizing this as a tawdry Sheraton Hotel weekend seminar.
Right, that's what I know, yes.
Right. I view this much more as you've got to show us a personality. We're just as horny as you are, but we just can't fuck anybody. So you've got to at least try to be interesting.
Right, but that's lies on their part, though. You've seen these men, Garrett.
Which men?
They're trying to give scrubs a makeover here. They're observing
we're talking
that there
way
are
too much without having read a word.
Okay.
Let's get into it. Come on, let me kick a little game to you. Baby, baby, let me kick a little game to you. Come on, let me kick a little game to you. Baby, baby, let me kick a little game to you.
And you're not doing that justice, because that is delivered perfectly. Let me kick a little game to you.
Is that Jermaine Dupri?
Baby, baby, let me kick a little game to you. Come on, let me kick a little game to you. Baby, baby, let me kick a little game to you. It's great. Every part of it is great.
It almost has a nice little Snoop rhythm.
Yeah.
Come on, let me kick a little game to you.
Yeah, it does. If
anyway.
it was slightly more whispered, I would say that's perfect.
Yeah, but that's the last we get of Jermaine Dupri until we get back into the bridge and the chorus. But the song really begins, I've been watching you, watching me, and I know you want it. Lean against the wall, checking out the scenery. All I see is everybody trying to get with me. So I continue to play it crazy, sexy, cool. Lost all composure when I laid my eyes on you.
Right.
So she is smitten with somebody in the club. She was trying to lay back, sit in the cut, just watch people swing and miss, and then she locked eyes with some sweet filly. She was smitten. But it's not that easy, Tim. They're not like us. They don't just run on physical attraction. She says, we just want to know if you can kick some game. Come with something more clever than just your name. See, it's like this. I want to take you home, but you got to show me that your game is on. So far, I'm not having an issue with this.
Well, sure. It sounds nice. It sounds like some helpful advice. Listen, man, give me 3 interests, right? What's your favorite color? Come with that. Don't just with your name. Something interesting.
It's like whatever. What are you into, girl?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
No, just something that tells me you're not a robot.
Right, but that's the thing, Garrett. They are. They're monsters. They have absolutely
you seem
nothing
to be pointing to a specific group of men. Could you show me this pool of devious men you're talking about?
We can go to the club if you want.
Also, shit.
If you'd like.
I didn't know that's what we were talking about. I don't want to go to the club. Every club I've ever been to with you has been a disaster.
Yeah. There have been a lot of fights. There was
the one that was on fire mysteriously, only to find out that all the emergency exits were glued shut.
In the defense of the club, we should say, they were poorly glued shut. Like, they were very easy to open, but you could tell someone was trying. They were openable.
Anyway, felonies aside.
The other, so if you don't want to go to the club, Garrett, I've got a seminar that is
God damn it,
is filled with the sort of men. It's filled with scrubs, Garrett.
Okay, let's see if we can find some common ground here. Before I try to build that bridge, I do want to point out, kick some game, spit some game. It's spit some game, not kick some game. What are we doing, right?
Yeah,
I've never heard anybody say,
so.
Let me kick some game at you. I have heard countless people spit game. Let me kick a little game to you. God, I know all I want to do is sing that fucking song. Come on, baby.
Yeah, it's great. No one's got a problem with that.
Right, but that's not what we're talking about. So let me build that bridge, Tim. What if it's both? What if, for the average bear, think back to those early days, those tough days. I knew you in your early 20s. You weren't great at talking to people. You're still not. You're a mess. But
I am
you've got some dance moves and it works.
Yeah.
But let's go back. Let's turn back the dial. Early 20s, trying to talk to the ladies, work up a conversation in the bars. You're there at Paradise. It's 1:30. Everybody's starting to pair off. For the average Joe, a good guy, this is great advice. Hey, I won't just tell you my name. I'm going to come at you with some interesting stories, anecdotes, or facts about myself and see if we make a connection.
Sure, but it's offered indiscriminately. Anyone can buy this album, Garrett. There is not a no scrubs policy.
Let me build my bridge. So that's the other side. You're 100% right. There's also people that will Well, now we're just getting into the uses of good and evil. It's always back to the hero's journey with you. So yes, of course, there's going to be people that are going to hear this advice, and rather than try to make a connection, they're going to expertly hone their responses to elicit the best possible chance of coitus.
Yeah.
And those people are sociopaths.
Sure, yeah, you want to mirror body language, etc., etc. There's a whole course on this at a hotel near an airport right near where you live.
I love how staunchly opposed you are to the sentiments in this song, but you are one of the people that took the course.
Well, listen, you can take a course and not use it. I took a course in college in nuclear physics, Garrett. I'm not blowing stuff up. Well, not with nuclears. I didn't do great in the class, I'll admit. So I probably couldn't.
With nuclears.
My point, Garrett, my point is...
This is a new low. For you, the show, maybe me, definitely Gino, who's still,
He's still-
Timmy.
You know, I
there's
think
a
it's
pretty
a
big
ghost.
cup of coffee in the room.
Yeah.
No, you don't. We were using the code word.
Right. But I think we should discuss this because he literally just walked through Gino. Like, at very recently,
Gino's
they were occupying
very,
the same
very light.
space. That's true.
Okay, back to the song.
Hey, Chief, come at Garrett like that. We'll see. Gino doesn't count.
That won't
Gino doesn't count.
Boy, he is not acknowledging you at all.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't care. Maybe he can't see us. Maybe we are the specters to him.
We don't have time for this. I just want to say that.
All
This is 16 tracks.
All right. Let's keep going.
Ghosts.
Yeah. Well, let's keep going.
The song continues. This is where we get some role play. And at this point, I'm kind of out.
Well, so at this point, I'm kind of in because they're just making fun of Andre.
Right. So T-Boz spells it out. She says, club's about to close, but you've only said a few words to me. I've been waiting for a dose of your personality. See, I'm in the mood, and if all goes right, babe, you will be going home with me tonight. So I guess that's pretty superfluous. Largely like the first verse.
Yeah.
You just got to try.
Yep. You got to memorize a series of code words.
It's not like the Winter Soldier. Mercury, Orion, Peter, pencil,
Hey,
coffee.
Hey.
You want to go home with me?
You had me at Tito.
At Orion. Oh, Peter.
I like the way it sounds.
So then we get to the role play, Tim. This is Lisa Left Eye as her then fiance?
I don't know.
Unclear.
Yeah.
Boyfriend?
I assume
Ex-boyfriend?
it's not going to last much further past this, seeing as how there's verses in this mocking him.
Yeah, she's mocking him. So Lisa as Andre says, Miss Left Eye, yo, all I want to do is kiss your hand. Let you know I'm just not another fan. I am the man. And I don't give a damn about who you know. I got a 48-track studio back at the crib, so drop on by. You know where I live. Okay, so then you get kind of a cut forward in time, and he says again, Lisa as Andre, Lisa Lopez, it's been a month. I called you twice, to which she says, you called me once. Baby, come with me and be mine so we could make love on the 50-yard line, making a reference to, of course, his football career. Yeah, I don't really know. I guess she's just mocking him at how poorly, is that an example of him doing a good job or a bad job?
Yeah, this is a very bad job, Garrett. You should know that. You kick better game than this.
Well, that's true. I'll be honest. I don't kick great game.
Yep, but Garrett, we could get you there.
No, I don't want to take your weird negging course.
Garrett, listen, I'm not going to say it's a great course, but I get $20 for every person I recommend.
Yeah, there, now I understand. Okay, anyway, the song ends with a guy sputtering out some super weak game. He says, so like, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you write your number down if you won't leave with me, and then we could hook up if you know what I'm saying?
Women hate stuttering, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do too. Track number 4, Digging on You.
Time for new relationships. I must admit.
I genuinely hate this song.
I don't hate it.
It's terrible, Garrett. This is the great message you believe was in the last song. This is the exact opposite.
You're right. Before we get into the lyrics, you're 100% right. After all, an entire song dedicated to, hey, you're not going to get me with just some bullshit pickup line. The entire next song is about how she fell in love with a man with a bullshit pickup line. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. I just want to set the scene. You guys just heard a little bit. It's a weird, sexy slow jam. It's 1994, so it's played on a keyboard, but the keyboard is set to the horn setting.
Yeah, not a great.
So it's sort of like if Mac DeMarco had made an R&B or soul song. Everything's kind of downtuned.
Yeah.
So Tim, as you said, it opens. I was like peace in a groove on a Sunday afternoon. You were there, so was I, in the park, 4th of July. I was chilling with my Kool-Aid when Miss Chili came to relay that you had a thing for me, finest thing you'd ever seen. And there it is, folks. That's the absolute abstract for the entire song. Just chilling, enjoying some Kool-Aid, 4th of July, fireworks after sundown, and Chili wanders over and says, yo, did you know that man just said you are the finest thing he's ever seen? And from that moment on, Tim, they're in love.
Yeah. Are they children?
Oh, because of the Kool-Aid?
Well, because of the Kool-Aid, but also because, like, her friends coming over and being like, hey, that guy likes you. Like, that's like an 8th grade thing to do.
Oh, you can do that in adulthood.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah. Say you're not great at kicking game, right? Mm-hmm. You can send a good friend over who's quite good at kicking game. Not too good. Not too good. Don't want him to kick that game right on into your lady of interest, but pretty good. And he can kind of set things up for you so that you can come over and kick your slightly weaker game, but he's kind of laid the groundwork and maybe some bits that you can piggyback off of.
Okay, kick that game into her is a gross way of saying what you're saying.
I don't know the terminology, Tim. It should be spit game, okay?
Okay, we also don't want to spit game into a person. I think it's the into. Let's just in the direction of. How about that? It's a little wordier. It's kind of clunky, but it's
I'm going to stick
gross.
with in.
Okay.
Song continues. I must admit to you, I've heard them lines a time or two, although for some apparent reason, monkey lines are now in season. Pause. 1, she addresses the fact that that's bullshit line and she's fallen for it anyway. And 2, monkey lines is not an expression.
Garrett, monkey lines. This was their first attempt at No Scrubs in this particular timeline where this came out before No Scrubs. They're trying to get monkey lines and make that a thing. They're trying to make kick your game a thing. That's what they do, Garrett. They are trendsetters. The problem is none of these trends set until they hit No Scrubs.
Yeah, that's true. Early attempts so far, not great. Monkey lines. Sounds like some sort of exotic cocaine. You guys want to do some monkey lines? What's in your cocaine?
Monkey. Ground up monkey.
I don't want to sound uncool. Should I ask what makes that cocaine monkey cocaine? I assume it's got monkeys in it.
Maybe it was made by monkeys.
Made by monkeys. Which part?
The cocaine.
What do you mean? They're stomping the coca leaves and doing the chemistry.
Yeah. They're all nude and packing.
Oh my! This cocaine was made by apes. Oh no, they strictly trafficked it.
It also might be made with the physiology and weight of a great ape in mind. So maybe it's just really strong cocaine.
Yeah, do less. Okay, song continues. Digging the scene, digging on you, digging on me, baby, baby, ooh, baby, baby, it's on like that. It's on like that. I gotta be in love or something like that. So they're in love.
Okay, sure. I was like deep in a cool, wasn't gonna be nobody's fool, couldn't care less who was there, could have been like anywhere. I was chilling with my Kool-Aid, did not want to participate in no silly conversations, had no time for new relationships.
Can I do a dramatic reading of that verse, Tim?
Please.
And by dramatic, I mean my best interpretation of the song itself, because it is a ridiculous delivery. I was chilling with my Kool-Aid, did not want to participate in no silly conversations, had no time for new relationships.
It's like beat poetry.
It is like beat poetry. Immediately, Tim, I don't know. Have you ever seen So I Married an Axe Murderer? Harriet, hard-hearted harbinger of haggis. It's exactly like that. By the way, I know that entire goddamn thing. I needed Friends as a child, Tim.
Yeah, and that's a 1993 movie, so it is possible that this is a direct reference to.
Yeah, maybe they're huge Mike Myers fans.
Weren't we
Listeners,
all?
write in. Do you know the connection? But it is a ridiculous delivery. You could have spaced it up such that it was relationships, but for whatever reason, they give it like a 2-beat pause, and it just sounds like they tacked it on. They were like, oh shit, we didn't say ships.
It's possible, and we do this occasionally, where one of us flubs a line so bad that it cannot be saved.
Yeah.
Maybe they just did like a second take, but like they didn't want to waste tape, so they just did the ships part, and then maybe
we're going to need you in on Sunday, sweetie. We need to do some ship takes.
Yeah, and then they just had a bad editor put it together. It happens, Garrett.
It does happen. We've seen it.
Yeah, we've got interns.
Tim, have we ever told the very short story of how we drove a man insane by asking him to edit our podcast? So many apologies.
Okay, this was October 2018. We found a guy on Fiverr who agreed to edit our entire podcast for $40, $50, somewhere in there. And assuming that, this is going to be an hour of his time, that's great. So he started doing this on like a Friday probably. And it got to where we were emailing him on like Sunday, just being like, we have to get this. And he was just like, I'm so sorry.
I've been working on it. I'm like 6 hours in.
Yeah.
And I want to get it to you guys. I promised I'd do it. It's not about that. It's really taking a while.
It became like a mind over matter thing. Like, it doesn't matter if I get paid. It doesn't matter anything. I'm going to finish this because if I don't, this is going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
Legitimately, he put like 17 hours in. It was, I don't know. Now, to his credit, we were really bad at this.
It was bad, sure, but it was also episode like number 60 or something. So
yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I want to say it was the first Rob Zombie episode.
Yeah, that feels right.
But yeah. So there's a guy that is now no longer
We're his white whale.
Yeah, and he's no longer offering editing services on the internet for fear that somebody like us will come along.
Back to the song. What is it in a line that made me fall for you? Do you know why I'm digging on you?
Yeah.
Do you, Tim?
Interesting. I don't like it.
It's mostly the chorus. Now, I'm just now looking at this. Let me read it one more time before we move on to a truly dumb song. Why do I feel this way? When all I can think about is you, what was it in a line that made me fall for you? I think she's questioning whether or not she may have been hypnotized. Maybe you were right, Tim. Maybe that previous song was a terrible precursor, a prequel, if you will, where she divulged secrets and then, well, no, because then he didn't use the line. Well, this all just falls apart.
Maybe she divulged that she needed more than just what's up. This guy realized I don't have more than that, so he learned some sort of ancient mystical art, hypnotized her, so he doesn't have to use any more of that. And when she has moments of clarity, she is reflecting on why exactly.
Those mystical arts, Tim. Mm-hmm. Good investment in time. If you're looking to hypnotize people.
Anyway, that gives way to Case of the Fake People, track number 5.
Goodbye to all the fake people in my life. I never want.
Do not attempt to adjust your podcasting device. This is not a test. Guys, we are at an hour 5 and we've only gone through 4 tracks. If you can believe it, we talk about this for a whole second hour. So, rather than unleashing a 2-hour TLC episode and have somebody OD on CSC, Tim and I decided, you know what? We'll cut it in half, give us a chance to maybe bank a week or two, so the next time Tim just disappears randomly, I don't have to cobble together a quick solo cast, and you guys can enjoy the same weekly Tim and Garrett dose you enjoy. Hopefully nobody's too upset. We're going to go ahead and stop it there. You're going to get a very jam-packed second hour of TLC's CSC Part 2 next week. Until then, as always, please go to hatepod.com, click on Contact Us in the upper left-hand corner, or you can simply email us at hatepodmail@gmail.com. We certainly want to hear from you. Still looking for those new sound drops, new intro, new outro music, maybe new segment music, your artwork, suggestions, thoughts, ideas, hopes, dreams. We want to hear it all. So please do reach out. We're HatePod on Instagram, Album HatePod on Twitter. I'm G Harvey Tweets on Twitter. We got subreddits. We got Discord servers. Come on, if you want to talk to us and we want to hear from you, it's not that hard. Reach out. Until next week, for Why I Hate This Album, I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey, and speaking for Tim, as I typically do, Timothy Richardson.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Gary.